Okay, today we're going to be making a half square triangle quilt from with 4-inch blocks, and we're making them from a layer cake, 10-inch squares. I have one set or one layer cake, and I've paired them up, so I have 21 pairs of colors put right sides together. And then I take the foundation that is designed to go on a 10-inch square and put it on the side, the wrong side on one side of your pair of 10-inch squares. And then I pressed it with a wool setting, a steam setting. And what it does when you do that is it kind of gives it a little static electricity or something, kind of makes it lay there, but it's not fused. You can pull the foundation back, that's not a problem, but you can tell there it's a little static electricity just to hold it in place so I don't even pin it. And what I'm going to do is take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to start in the middle here. There's 2 solid lines with a dotted line in between. I'm going to sew on the solid lines, and then I'll come back and I'll sew on the solid lines on each side. So there's 6 seams, and we'll sew on all of those, and then we'll come back and we're going to cut on the dotted lines. And when we finish it, we will end up with 8 half square triangle blocks that are the perfect size. You don't need to do any trimming up or anything. They are ready to go. So this makes a really quick project. I believe if you just use just these half square triangles in your quilt, you'll get 168 blocks. I laid it out to be to use 160 of them, which 10 wide by 16 long. I believe if my math is correct, it comes out to be 40 by 64. But there are so many ways you can set this up. You can put 4 together, put a sashing in between. You could add just plain 4-inch blocks in between, you know, mixed in. You could just lay these out random and you'd get the 40 by 64, but there are so many things you can do with these. So let me take this to the machine, get started, and then I'll come back and show you how I trim it, and then you'll get to see. I think I'm going to play around with a couple different layouts and take pictures of those to share with you, give you some ideas. But if you need a quick project, this is it. You could do this in a day, no problem. So let me get started. Okay, so I've got my pieces sewn together with the foundation. I sewed on the solid lines, and just a quick little tip: when you come down and you cross in the center, you can either lift your presser foot and skip this corner, or just continue stitching, and after you cut it, you have to take a couple stitches out. They come out really easy. It's whichever way you prefer. I normally just keep running my stitches and then pull them out when I go to press. So the first thing I'm going to do when trimming this is we're going to cut on all the dotted lines. And I like to cut around the outside edge first. And it's just very little that needs to be trimmed off. But like I say, if you trim on these lines, your blocks will come out to measure 4.5 inches unfinished. So 4 inches when they're done, and you won't have any other trimming to do, no squaring up or whatever. They are ready to sew together. So it does make very quick work of it. Now I like to cut across the center first, and then take half, excuse me, and cut on all the dotted lines. And then you're going to cut from corner to corner. So there's 2. There's 4. And then the other half, we'll do the same thing. this, which corner? Let me find it, where I stitched across. This one right here. You can see there's a couple stitches there. I just put my finger between the two layers of fabric like that, and it just comes right apart. And just pull the thread out. Now when I take it to the ironing board, I like to stack them all with the foundation side down. I'll flip this whole stack over. I just take the stack to the ironing board and I set my stitches and then open this up and press that seam nice and flat, and it's ready to go. So that's all there is to it. I will post some pictures here at the end of the video of different layouts and give you a little inspiration. This layer cake that I'm working with is from Maywood Studios. It's their, I forget what you call it, but it's shadow play, and it's the gem tones, and we'll see what it looks like.